So one day I'm headed into work, shift 4 out of 4, trying to mentally prepare myself because I'm miserable and I'm just dead tired. I don't feel like going in, but I'm already halfway en route. And I just keep hearing this voice in the back of my head asking myself, why are you doing this to yourself? It makes no sense anymore. It doesn't make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, it's time to go back to the drawing board. What's going on, family? My name is Tyron Tyson, best known on the streets as the Urban Nurse. And you are now tapped into the #1 channel for healthcare hustlers and entrepreneurs like myself. Alright, so I'm going to be honest with you. The more I began to work as a travel nurse, the more experience that I gained. The more experience that I gained, the more money that I made. But the more money that I made, the more I began to value the money that I was making less. With this newfound understanding of investing in wealth creation, I'm constantly trying to figure out ways of how to make more money. And then I'm trying to figure out ways of how to make my money work for me instead of me having to work for my money. And in doing that, I began to realize how much actual time I was devoting to nursing, and the amount of money that I was making from it just no longer added up. It was no longer valuable. It just didn't equate. And I figured if I could just take some of that time and invest it into myself, adding value to myself, I could then add value to other people's lives, and the returns that I would get from that would be exponential. So let me just give you a quick glimpse into my schedule. Typical week as a travel nurse. I'm working 48 hours a week, and that's in the facility. That's 48 hours working as a nurse. 12-hour shifts, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 4 days a week. Now understand, 4 days a week, it's only 7 days in a week. So I'm spending more than half of my time, half of my week working as a nurse. And that really doesn't account for the other hours that it takes to, get prepared and get ready for work, commuting to work and then commuting home from work. So pretty much with me working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., let's just start off at the beginning of a work week. So I got to get ready for work at 7 p.m., but I got to commute. I'm traveling. I'm trying to save money on my stipend. I'm trying to maximize my profits. Go check that video out. But with me trying to maximize my profits, having to wake up at 4 p.m. so that I can make the train at 5:15, and then my 3 train rides that I catch will get me to work by 6:30. So then from 6:30 to pretty much, let's say I get off from work at 7:30 in the morning on the dot, it's a likely chance I probably won't be getting home until about maybe 9:15, 9:30. And then because I have so many other things to do, I have to make phone calls in the morning, I have to go to construction sites, I have to run around and handle other responsibilities that, people typically have in life. I don't really get to go to sleep until about 11:30, maybe 12 o'clock. So that's 4.5 hours of sleep, because I then have to wake up again at 4 so that I can start the cycle again. And I'm doing that 4 days out of my week. And then once it gets to the end of my work week and I finally have a day off, as you guys may know, that first day off is really not a real day off, because you're not going to do nothing but rest and sleep all day, and really much nothing gets done. And with me understanding that, that's now 5 days out of my week in order to get things accomplished, right? With me only having 2 days, not really much can get handled, because sometimes that falls on a weekend, and businesses usually run Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or it's hard to get in contact with people on the weekends, and it's not typically normal business hours. So it then got to a point, during my contract where I was like, it just doesn't seem like it's enough time in a day. It doesn't seem like it's enough time in a week for me to do what I have to do, and that became really frustrating to me. So at that point, it then became a time value versus money value type of thing. Right? And I'm gonna keep it 100% honest with you. The reason that I got into nursing was because I wanted to become a travel nurse. Yes, I like helping people, but when I found out about travel nursing, it allowed me the opportunity to make good money. I didn't have to stay at the same hospital. I got to travel the country and see the world and meet new people and get new experiences. And that was honestly the driving and the motivating force behind me getting through nursing school, getting through my first year, my second year of nursing, to get that experience. So then I could get out of here and hit the road. Now understanding that was honestly at a different point in my life. That was about 4 years ago. 4 years of maturation and maturity and understanding and learning can be a lot. And during that time when I wanted to travel, I was single, I was young, I was coming from being broke to now actually making good money, and it's like, I want to do everything I dreamed about. But now I'm in a place where, I've traveled, I've seen the world, I've had fun, I lived and was a hot boy for a while, but now I'm mature and I'm really honestly thinking about my future. I got a family at home now. and I value the time that I spend with them. I value the time that I have in putting and devoting myself to the businesses that I'm creating and the businesses and things that I'm investing into. But with me trying to move further away from nursing, I'm doing nothing but moving further to it because I'm chasing the bag. I'm chasing the money. I'm trying to get the top travel contracts, and I'm having to go from state to state and be away from what was truly important. And if you guys watch my Done With Nursing video, I'm blessed to be in the position where I now understand my purpose, and I understand what I'm passionate about and what's most important. And the lures of travel nursing is just honestly not that important to me anymore. And I'm not telling nobody not to get into travel nursing, because listen, y'all got to understand, your opinion and the life that you live is different from mine. And right now I'm just not in that place in my life anymore. Now, if you young, you single, or you single and you older, whatever, you really don't have any ties to where you're at, and you're not trying to create a foundation there, and you want to go and travel the world, then listen, go do it. That's what I'm telling you to do. But I've done it for the last 2 years, and now I get to a point where I'm on a contract or I'm on assignment. It gets really lonely. I really don't have the desire to go out except golf. I don't have a desire to go out to a club, to fancy restaurants, or make friends to go and do that. I want to come home. I'm coming home to an empty bed, a bed that's not mine, a house that's not mine. So I'm missing my family. And then again, as I said, I'm trying to move away from nursing. So, it got to a point in this contract where I began to ask myself, bro, if you're trying to get away from nursing, why are you putting all your time into nursing? Why are you devoting so much time and giving yourself so much time being a nurse that you now don't have the energy or the devotion or desire or motivation to put into your own businesses and things that you have going on? And those are falling behind, and things are falling behind with those because you're giving so much energy in trying to chase the bag. And I read a quote once that said, the more you chase money, the more it runs from you. I understand that with me chasing contract to contract as a travel nurse, yeah, I'm making more money, but that honestly has a cap to it. It has a ceiling. Last year I made the most money I've ever made in my life, but I had to put a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat and to be away from my family and not able to do the things I love because I was working 48, 60 hours a week across the country. Now, yeah, that's good money. But for me, I feel like my time is more valuable than that. I'm worth more than $150 an hour. So like I said, I was sitting on the train and I was just trying to make it make sense to myself. Me giving so much time to a profession that I no longer want to be a part of, but now that's taken away from the time that I need to give to the endeavors that will honestly set me up for my future. The three most important things to me right now: studying for my licenses and certification as a financial advisor, my real estate ventures that I have going on, as well as YouTube. I want to be able to make content daily. I want to be a full-time YouTuber. I'm constantly providing you guys with content because I understand the experiences that I've gone through, and the voice that I have is like no other, and it's relatable to so many people. But I can't do that if half of my week is going to being a nurse. So one day I had a conversation with my buddy, and I'm like, man, I don't feel like I got enough time in the week. I'm coming up with so much content and things that I can do and things that I can create, but I don't really have the time to do it because either I'm so tired or the schedule just isn't working out. He's like, so what's holding you to nursing? And I'm like, honestly, man, I'm making really good money right now. And then he helped me realize that I was using the money pretty much as a crutch when I'm worth way more money than I'm making right now. And if I would just invest my time into myself and into the things that I find important, the return can be limitless. So right now, if I'm making $150 an hour, honestly, how valuable is my time over that? You got people out here that are content creators, or you have people out here that are making 10, 20 times that, and they're doing what they love to do. But that's because they invested the time into their craft. They invested the time into perfecting what they do, so that the money then came because they now added value to other people. So understanding the time versus money value, I decided that I'm calling it quits. I'm gonna take a pay cut on the back end. I'm gonna get a contract at home and work less hours. And with me taking that pay cut, now I understand that I have more time to invest in myself and what I have to do. And I know that like anything I do, I'm successful at it and I'll reap the benefits of it later. So hindsight being 2020, I now understand what that voice that I was hearing in the back of my head was that day I was on the train. And I understand that I honestly had just reached a critical fork in the road in my journey. And it was time to choose a side. It was time to make a decision, because what I'm telling you guys and what I was saying and thinking in my head, my actions weren't following. So here I am devoting majority of my time into nursing, and moving further and further away from what I'm passionate about and what I feel I was put on this earth to do. So I really had to take a deep look in the mirror and ask myself, I gotta bet on myself. I'm gonna take my chips, stack my deck, put it in the middle of the table, and it's all money in at this point. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and make sure you keep tapping in. See you next time.